Hello everyone, welcome back to A Wild Approach. My name is Macy Lou, and today we are talking about the garden. And this is the late June / early July garden tour. So, right off the top, I'm just gonna say this is the best time in the garden for multiple reasons, but the main reason is it is the peak bloom in my garden. At least as of 2025 and many years before this, this has been just the best time to see the garden, the best time for the blooms, the best time for everything. I would say June 20th, June 24th, somewhere around that is the sweet spot, where you get to see the Rudbeckia, the purple coneflower, the wild bergamot, the liatris. I mean, I could go on, but it is such a beautiful time in the garden, and it does not last long enough. I can't get enough of it. So today we are strolling around the garden, the front garden a little bit, and we're looking around to see what there is to see. And first of all, this red columbine bloomed again, which I was surprised by. And I'm assuming it's because I actually cut off the seed pods so that I could collect the seeds. So, fun fact, red columbine might bloom again if you cut off the seed pods. Okay, so before we jump into this video, I need you to know something. I live in East Tennessee. I garden in East Tennessee, and when I talk about native plants, I'm usually going to be referring to the Southeast, sometimes the Northeast, sometimes the Midwest, and a little bit of the central United States. I'm not really going to cover the West very often. So when I tell you something's native, this is what I mean. It is native somewhere, typically in the eastern United States. I know that's pretty broad, but try to follow with me on this journey. And we will be right back after this break. Hi guys, could you hit the like button underneath this video? It helps me know which videos resonate most with you guys. Do you need a short, quick guide to get started in wildlife gardening? Well, turns out I've got just the thing. I just came out with a new free ebook just for you, and it's called A Wild Approach to Gardening 101. And it's available on my website today at macylou.com/shop. It's free, so go check it out. What do you have to lose? Welcome back, everybody. So this is the transition time between purple coneflower peaking, Rudbeckia starting to go kind of downhill, and then the partridge pea is starting to pick up. So this is peak blooming, late June, early July. It's just, like I said, the best time. Look at this. So this on the left is an aster, and on the right is a sassafras sapling. I really love sassafras a lot, and I'm really hoping this grows because none of my sassafras seeds have germinated. None of them! Can you believe that? None of them even germinated. And some of them I planted in the ground, some of them I planted in pots. It didn't matter. None of my sassafras seeds germinated, and I'm really bummed about it because I got them from a fairly local source, and I am assuming it's my own fault. I did some of them I did in the ground in time for them to get like the winter weather, but some of them I did in pots after cold stratifying them in the fridge, stuff like that, right? So maybe there's just something I don't know. Maybe there's like a double cold stratification or double dormancy situation that I don't know about. I didn't see anything about that, but maybe I should look into it again. I don't understand. I don't understand why those seeds did not germinate. I bought a bunch of seeds. So another thing I did was I put like multiple seeds per hole or per pot or whatever, and that didn't help either. They still didn't germinate. So I don't really understand it, but if you guys have any tips on germinating sassafras, let me know. I don't know if it matters anymore for me personally, but somebody in the comments might gain something from it, because I have a sapling someone gave me for free So now I've got 2 sassafrasses, and I don't really think I have room for them anymore, so I'm probably not going to pursue the seed thing anymore beyond the seeds I have in the fridge still, because I still have some seeds in the fridge, and I'm still going to try to germinate those. Because in my head I'm like, okay, the previous seeds didn't work. It's from the same batch, but the ones that are still in the fridge, obviously they've been in the fridge for so much longer than what was recommended, and maybe they'll germinate better. Maybe they just needed more cold than what was said online. I don't know. But that being said, I don't really have a lot of room anymore for trees over a certain size. Like, I just don't really have room for a lot of big trees and big shrubs anymore. Maybe a little bit of more room for shrubs, but not much. Like, I could put a shrub right here. I kind of want to close this area off and put a shrub here, but I haven't committed to that idea yet. So haven't committed to that yet, but we will see. Also, what you just saw me looking at was previously the peninsula garden that is now the pond garden, and from this area you cannot see the pond because it has gotten so lush already. So I kind of knew that when I was designing the pond. I kind of knew that my native plants that I already had established would just engulf it, and they have. But I also have some plants that have popped up around the pond that I don't really know what they are, and I can't wait to find out what they are, and I'm really interested. Some of them native, some of them might not be native, so some of them I might have to pull out if they're invasive or something, but it's a learning thing, because I've never had a pond before, and so I've never had the conditions that would invite these certain plants to seed themselves until now, and I am so excited. But now you're looking at oak leaf hydrangea. It's a cultivar though. I should have got the straight species because the straight species is really huge and probably has more of the actual pollinator friendly flowers. I didn't know that at the time though. I just thought, oh, it's oak leaf hydrangea, I'ma buy it. But anyway, it's one that stays a little bit shorter. I think it's Snow Queen or something like that. You can look it up. But it has beautiful flowers, and I love the fall color, so I really love this plant. I have a second one that you probably already saw earlier, and it's even shorter, and I don't know why. But this is purple coneflower. I have purple coneflower, I have pale purple coneflower, and I have Tennessee coneflower. Now, just so you know, I think they all can hybridize with each other and like make babies with each other, and that can have pros, but the con of that is when you collect the seeds, like from now on my seeds will probably be random. Like when I collect seeds from purple coneflower or pale purple coneflower, or this one, Tennessee coneflower, they're not necessarily going to come true to the plant that I picked them off of. They could be a hybrid of the three, or two of the three, I mean, or they could be just one of the, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I kind of like that because I am super curious what they will create. Will they create really pretty interesting like combinations, or will they create duds? We'll find out, maybe. This is Purple Passion Vine. It is just starting to pick up right now. Like I said, this garden tour was filmed late June and early July, and I'm recording this voiceover in late July, so that just goes to show you how far ahead I film. I typically film things pretty far ahead. Now this is pale purple coneflower, and you can see it's starting to go over, it's starting to be done, and then I have a little curly Q from my Purple Passion Vine grasping onto it, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna let you guys know that I've had a rough summer, kind of, in the garden, and I've had some struggles. I've had a new struggle pop up, and I'm gonna have a whole video about it. But in the meantime, I haven't actually been out in the garden that much. Not nearly as much as I normally would be out here. And it's kind of given me the summer blues. I think I'm finally coming out of it. You know, the day I'm recording this voiceover is July 24th, and I think I'm finally coming out of the summer blues because I had a really good morning this morning. I filmed a video of my container garden with like some new plants that I put in, and I can't wait for you guys to see that one. It's not out yet. It's not the container garden video that you've already seen. It's a new one, and I'm really excited, and it was a really beautiful morning, and I didn't have any mosquitoes this morning at all, and I was in shock. So I think I'm going to swap to hanging out in the garden in the mornings. I used to do evenings because evenings are usually cooler, but the mosquitoes are so bad in the evenings that I can't do it, guys. I can't. Even like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, to me, 3 and 4 o'clock is not evening. To me, that's afternoon, but it starts to get so bad right off the bat. So from now on, I think I'm going to focus on trying to enjoy my mornings if possible. But again, you never know. The mosquitoes could come out and try to eat me up. We'll see. Because I am super sensitive to heat, and the heat this year has been horrific, okay? The heat has been horrific. I swear it feels like it gets worse every single year. I don't know how other people out there say it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like it gets worse every single year, not just like gradually and slowly over time. I feel like in my garden, it's like every year it just gets more and more miserably hot, despite me adding trees to shade certain areas. Don't get me wrong, the shaded areas are so much more pleasant temperature-wise, but unfortunately, the mosquitoes love the shadier areas. The mosquitoes love the more protected, this kind of area right here that you're seeing. The habitat hedge, cubbyhole garden. Anything near the shrubs and the trees, the mosquitoes like, hell yeah, give me that. And so that's unfortunate because that's also my favorite little spot, you know, temperature-wise. So I haven't really been enjoying my garden like I normally do. And I hate to say that because that is really sad. But it's just the truth. And I just want you guys to know the truth. I want you guys to know that I have struggles in the garden just like the next person. And I'm sure a lot of you have struggles in the garden too. And the truth of the matter is when you are making a wildlife habitat garden, it's never going to be perfect, and it's never going to be what it necessarily appears to be. Like, you are attracting everything. I need to reiterate this in some of my videos because it's just a fact. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but it's true. You're attracting all the wildlife. You are not just attracting, you're not picking and choosing. You don't really have control over that. You're attracting not only the butterflies, the dragonflies, the bees, the chipmunks, and all the cute things like that, but you're also attracting the things you probably don't like the ticks and the mosquitoes. It's just a fact. So just take a breath. Let it out. I need to do this because this is my first year dealing with ticks. So I'm going to have a whole video where I talk about it, and that doesn't mean that my garden has never had ticks before. I just have never encountered them in my garden before. I'm sure they were there and I just didn't know, just hadn't bumped into them yet. But because I've seen rabbits with ticks on them in the past, but other than that, never saw a tick actually in my garden on the ground or on a plant or on me. This is my first year where I've seen one on the ground and I've seen one on me. So I was very sad when that happened, and it gave me, you know, that and the mosquito problem combined gave me a little bit of a sadness, a little bit of the summer blues for a little while. And nothing too deep, nothing too horrible, don't get me wrong. It could have been way worse. But I just want you to know that you need to be prepared for what you're inviting. This is not to scare you off from having a wildlife garden at all. This is me being honest, me being transparent, and me explaining that I still am glad I did this. Why am I still glad I did this, despite the ticks, despite the mosquitoes? Because I love the other wildlife so much that even if I don't get to enjoy my garden as much, like physically me be in it as often, just this time of year specifically, because this is when the peak of the mosquitoes and ticks are, right? The wildlife itself, like all of those critters that I care so much about, they get to enjoy it. So just be like, it's not all about me is the thing. So there are other people out there who they only garden for themselves, which no shade to you if you only garden for yourself. I don't really think those people watch my channel though. So like if you garden for yourself and the wildlife, that's probably most likely who's watching this video at the moment. So this is for you. This is just so you know that there are going to be difficult times in your garden. And that doesn't mean they have to be difficult forever. You can make some changes. You can redesign some areas. You can change some of your strategies, and you can change some of your garden design. You can change your whole entire garden design if you want to. Even a wildlife garden, you can completely change it if you want to, as long as you do it in as careful of a way as you can when it comes to like the wildlife, right? Okay. So that being said, I don't regret making this garden at all because the benefits outweigh the annoyances and the risks overall. Like on like a whole, like if you look at the entire calendar year. I'm just gonna say it. I kind of hate summer. I kind of hate summer after like the middle of July starts. Basically July 15th starts and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm ready for fall. But that is not necessarily a very common opinion. A lot of people love summer. So that being said, let me know in the comments down below what you think. What's your favorite season? What are some of your garden struggles? How are you managing those? And remember, I will have a video where I talk about some of my struggles and how I'm managing those. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell so that when I do come out with those new videos, you don't miss out on those. And I will see you in the next one. I hope you have a great rest of your summer, as good as you can have it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. See you later. Hey guys, don't forget to follow me on Blue Sky and Instagram. These are the two best social media accounts other than YouTube where you can find me and you can see me post photos of the garden, thoughts on wildlife, and more. So don't forget to follow me over there. Brand new items are now available in the shop. Thanks so much to viewers like you for supporting the channel. To support the channel, like the video, comment, and subscribe. You can also support my work by buying art from me at macylou.com. Thanks for watching!